far as getting into metal full stop, we kind of didn't. We got into hardcore, we got into punk. We just happened to start a band that kind of went off in a far more metallic direction than we could have anticipated. That was it. We just wanted to do something that was different. We wanted something heavier and like more, I guess, technical than anything we'd done before, which in terms of the guitar playing and stuff was like power chords. So that was literally all we wanted to do. And from there, it just kind of, we followed those steps to more extreme directions until people were like, yeah, it's metal. And there was always those arguments of like, no, they're not metal, or they're not hardcore, or they're this or they're that, and we were always just going, yeah, whatever.
Whatever, call us what you will.
Yeah. Extreme sports metal, that's our new title.
Yeah, that's a new ass.
Yeah.
So getting into heavy music to begin with, being from Byron, people always wonder why, because it's such a laid back, relaxed town. You walk around, there's just people playing bongos and reggae everywhere. But the reason we got into this kind of heavy music really stemmed from surfing and like skating movies back in the 90s. When we were growing up, that's punk and hardcore was like the soundtrack to those movies. So that's really what got us into heavy music, which evolved into punk, from punk to hardcore to metal. So that's really the start of it.
Yeah, we pretty much just wanted a challenge, really. You know, like it started off really basic, like Winston said, and then it was like, right, we need to take it to the next level, and that's when the whole metal thing sort of came about. That was because none of us really were that great at writing it, so it just, you know, stemmed from there pretty much.
Let's go!
It was like six or seven guys. Luke, the other guitarist, he was probably one of the first guys. He had a shitty little band called Think Straight. Actually, they weren't shitty, they were good.
They were the town heroes, pretty much.
Yeah. When they played, a solid 10 people came and watched them.
10 or 20 people came, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was extremely underground thing. It was just basically a small group of friends, which all of us were a part of. And it was just, we would basically get together and have shows, which was about 10 to 15 people in my parents' basement, which was at Parkway Drive, which is where the name obviously came from. So Byron Bay Hardcore was just us hanging out and just playing music, and then it kind of, when we got bigger, the name and the whole scene grew a lot.
We just did a tour in the States with another band from our town in Hearts Wake, and like that's two bands from this little town that are now touring internationally, and there's been a bunch of others as well. So it's it grew into something that was much larger, and right when it was kind of booming, when Parkway was taking off in Australia, like we had like a nationwide reputation for like crazy shows, and shows where there was a younger generation coming. Like hardcore in Australia was really gnarly. Like when we went to shows that weren't in Byron, like it was scary. Like you'd see dudes fighting, and you'd see like drunk yobbos and like hectic stuff, and then you come to Byron and there's a 16-year-old kid like throwing a stage dive, and like hundreds of kids circle pitting in a tin shed and stuff, and bands would come from these like major city shows and come to Byron and just go, what the hell is going on? Yeah, that was it. So it was like it became something quite infamous.
as it seems. Tell me, can you find a cure? When you can't see and you can't feel the disease, can you seek a higher truth? When you're living on your knees, with the grows for blood, soul. Cause if you can't see the change, tell me when you just a key. It's cash, blood, and oil in the age of the refugee. They're trying to buy our minds, we ain't selling. There are nothing to the comfort. Cut the strings for your hostage. Cut the cord. Cut this call of silence. All their lives in the hands of tyrants.
The background that we come from is one that is, I guess, different from a lot of places in the sense of identity. Like we do what we want. We've never done it for any other reason other than enjoyment. We make the music we want to make, and there's no goal other than you enjoying yourself. Like I think it's quite easy these days for people to look at this band and go, whoa, they've got the secret to success or anything like that. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that look at this kind of music and go, there's a career there. But the reality of that, especially when you're coming from a town like Byron, which is tiny, that's not even a pipe dream. That's literally something that never even enters your mind. There's been so many times in this band where we're like, take the moment in, boys, this is as big as it's going to get.
Yeah.
And that's gone.
Keeps nudging.
Yeah. The first time we sold out like the youth centre in Byron's, like 300 people, and we're like, whoa, this is it, boys. this is going to be the psychos thing we're going to do. Yeah. So when you have that, I guess what you do comes out in a very genuine way and is a pretty solid reflection of who we are as people. There's no preconceived notion of anything other than that. So yeah. The band's evolution, like especially on the last record cycle, that's when the biggest things have changed. It all kind of comes back to the sense of it being a reflection of personal identity. And up until this last record, we were still pouring our passion into something which was fresh, which had new avenues of expression. And then those avenues we've hit a wall. So every evolution has literally come from us just trying to further ourselves in whatever we do, be it drums, vocals, guitars. And then when you get to a point where the next step of evolution would be going in a direction which you don't want to do, you reassess where you want to go. So yeah, then we ended up making a record which went in completely different directions from anything we've done in the past. So that's kind of it. Like it's not some huge piece of rocket science behind it. It was just figuring out.
It's a slow evolution, really. It's just we're just all slowly actually becoming musicians, which we never were. Like, we just would all, bang our instruments back in the day. And, these days we're like, okay, let's pull this stuff together and actually, get some musicianship going. So, yeah, it's just basically constant evolution.
Yeah, it just comes down to experience as well. We've been a band for 12 years now. We've worked with like a handful of really experienced, professional, top-of-the-line producers, and every time we record, we take a lot away from them. We've played thousands of shows, and we've seen like the best bands in the world and seen what they've done and seen what works for us, and it's just, we've just slowly progressed. So we've never had like a jump. Like that was the point where we jumped up. It's just been a slow kind of climb, which is probably the best way, because that's what they say, that the bigger you get, the faster you get big, the faster you drop off. Yeah. So we cut like a bit of a foundation, and it's better that way because it's more of a climb rather than just instant fame like some people get and it goes to their heads.
If we hadn't have done what we did on this record, we had hit a point of stagnation. We would have ended up with a B grade version of what the band was capable of. And I doubt we would have ever made something like that simply because we weren't interested in it. And doing this record was a massive experiment in the sense of like, we have all these other influences, we're going to try writing in this way, we're going to do all this stuff. Does it work for the band? Because in a lot of ways it would probably be easier to just do something completely different with where you can start from scratch and no one says that's not what that band is. So we had to reconsider like how to keep the beast going without completely changing its stripes.
Totally.
Which is a mission to do, but the fact that it worked is literally just like kick the door open. Like this is like, it's kind of like Parkway Phase 2.
It wasn't that the shift in sound changed the writing process, it was the writing process shift changed the sound.
Yeah, it was the opposite.
Basically we got to, once we finished recording Atlas and we started writing Aya, we just went to write and we got together and we just didn't feel inspired to write the same thing. We tried to write for a few months and just nothing was happening because we're following the same formula and the same kind of thing we've done for the last 10 years, and we just kind of wanted to do what we wanted to. We wanted to just do something different, and it wasn't that we wanted to change our sound on purpose. It was just we didn't feel inspired to write the same material, so we just wanted to experiment. And we've always written music for ourselves, never other people, so we wanted to just write what we wanted to write, and what came out was Aya. And it was just, it was liberating, the fact that, you know, we kind of took the barriers down, because we've always, you know, said we do breakdowns, we do fast bits, we don't do this, we don't do that. This one we just said, let's just do what we want to do, and kind of more creative songs came out, and it definitely felt liberating.
We're the main writing group, and we all said it to ourselves without talking to anyone else, and then we're all just kind of came together and were like, yo, do you want to do something different? And everyone was on the same page. So the word liberating is a very true thing. Like it's been one of those things where you had to bash our egos and like not resort to the lazy way of going, like you've done 4 records which have been more successful every single time, so you've got this way of writing music that you know works. It's so easy to fall back on that and just go, this is how I know how to do it. Don't tell me to do it another way.
Right, don't fix it theory just doesn't cut it after a while.
Yeah. And when like you tell someone that you're working with, like, no, do less. So sometimes, like especially at the start, we're like, oh, I was like, no, I want to sing over that bit. I'm like, no, the guitar goes in that bit. Like there was no point in those old songs where we took into account the actual song structuring to that degree. It was literally like, go fast, go heavy.
Let's jam as many instruments and as many notes into a bar as possible. That was the old ethos. So.
And once again, you're in a little bit of your self-destruction. You're going to the dark mountain fog, where we await the insertion of place of rest.
We all started in kindergarten music. That's it. The band was
we're all at a similar level.
The band was
Clueless.
kindergarten music, clueless, and we've all gone through the exact same experiences. And we've been like experiences being writing music and being in this band. Like you're talking to 3 guys who have spent like 12 years of our lives together writing the stuff that we like, and we know what each other are thinking generally, and we do it because we enjoy doing it. Like it's not like I'm sitting there going, oh fuck, I've got to write music with these guys I hate. Like I like writing music. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good job.
Yeah, it is good though. It's the fact that we're all on the same page. Like, there's very rarely a time where someone will write something and the others go, that's shit. That's not what we want. It's usually like everyone's kind of on the same page. So it's good that we've developed that. Obviously, like Winston said, it's probably from having all the same experiences, but it's good having trust in your fellow band members to write the stuff that you're going to like as well.
And it might sound stupid, but I am a fan of their work. I like the first bio we ever did as a band. Like it said like interests, and I was like, Gaz's drumming's amazing. But I appreciate what they do, and I think it goes either way. And we've all evolved in what we do, and it's not that thing of going, hey man, you're the best. Yeah, thanks. It's just that thing of knowing that you're able to work with someone that can do something that you couldn't imagine doing, and that's going to heighten what you do. And when you put it all together, it comes into this, I guess, image
solid team.
Yeah, and we create something that I don't think any of us can ever anticipate the exact thing that's going to come out.
No one individually could create what we've just created. Like everyone puts their own little twist on everything. So, like I usually start a lot of songs like musically, and then everyone starts going, oh, how about this? Oh, how about this? How about this? And it just gets moved around. Everyone just keeps adding their little things to it, and it all just comes together great in the end. So it's definitely a team thing. Yeah.
If we all had solo albums, they'd suck.
Yeah, they'd suck. That's exactly right. Yeah, they'd be all really.
Brixton! Up, 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 everybody! Jump, 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 jump on! On, on!
Set lists are really interesting writing, and to be honest, like this is the first tour we've had the problem of too many songs. Normally it was like we're that band.
We're struggling to get it together, getting enough songs. Now we've got so many songs, it's hard to choose.
It's really cool. Like it was up until releasing this record, like people really love a lot of our old material, and we still love playing it. But there's like a few spots where like, then we play this one and hope the energy maintains, and then we put this record out, and all of a sudden, like, those songs just went boom, and now we're like, okay, what do we play? Like we've specifically, we do tailor the sets to make sure the live show is the best thing possible for everyone involved. But it's the first time ever where we played the first show on this tour, and we're like, that set was too heavy. That was too heavy. We've got to do something changing it around. That's the first time it's ever happened. And we realised that we'd hit a point where you've got to actually create a live set which doesn't revolve around 100% adrenaline maxing out, because you hit an hour and you're done, and then you still got 20 minutes more of music. So it's the same thing as creating an album. You've got to create the ebb and flow with it.
As far as the song I'm looking forward to the most, this tour, I have to say Vice Grip, one of our singles, has been going down the best, and if it goes down the best for the crowd, it's usually what we enjoy playing the most, because we feed off them. So my answer would be Vice Grip, because it's the loudest, and just it's got like the groovy kind of feel, so everyone just kind of moves and stuff the whole time, and it's got a good energy to it.
I like Crushed. Crushed is just nasty. Like especially like I'm really conscious of what's going on visually on the stage while we're doing it, and just the stage setup we've got while that song happens matches that wall of sound so well, and it's really cool to watch a song that it's so insanely heavy without being like beat down heavy. Just seeing the way people are made to move without necessarily kicking Invisible Ninja is really nice.
Yeah, I'll take Vice Grip as well. It's just the kids sing along heaps to it, and they just get really into it. And like Gaz said, they just feed off that, and it gives you heaps of energy. So otherwise, I'd have to have a coffee machine on my side if that didn't happen. So
now they're singing along to his riffs as well, so it's pretty crazy.
That keeps me fueled for the night. I'm 33 now. I need everything I can get.
Set the show for out your throat. A constant battle, a solid wall, body and soul. Here we fucking go. Get on. One life, one shot. Get on. Keep the flame alive. Hope for this. A light in the darkness. Hope for this. A light in the dark. Fuck yes. The chains of the breaker soul, day by day. You know the choice you have to make. Freeze up and fade. I'll be the friend that makes the light come on. Get on. One life, one shot. Get on. Keep the flame alive.
Hey, what's up? We're Parkway Drive. You're watching Moshcam.